So at this point, just an update of what's done and what's left to be done. I'm actually entering the phase of the build where I'm starting to put everything back together. So as you can see, I've replaced the old CLD tiles on the bottom of the rear seat bench with new ones. I have a large piece here and a bigger piece there. I basically, just put it in the same location as the old one, and well, since I had quite a lot more spare than I thought I would have, I just cut them as big as I could without like sort of, there's a little drain plug right here that I didn't want to hit and stuff like that. Over there, I had a little bit more space before hitting well, it's not a drain plug, it's just like a rubber plug. Over there I had a bit more space, so I just put a bigger piece, and then I had this piece over here which was left over. I don't really know if it's gonna do much, but my reasoning is that the rear, this part, it's just a flimsy piece of sheet metal, and not that you would expect anything structural back here. I mean, all the structures in the pillars. But I mean, since that this does weld right to the wheel arch, I figured, you know what, if it's getting some vibrations through, we might as well have something there. So, that's kind of the reasoning behind that. Here's what the roof looks like. So I have like one larger piece there, and then another one here, and then that one I filmed it. But yeah, I mean, right now the cool thing is it does sound. I mean, before, when you would smack on the roof, I mean, it didn't record it, but it would resonate a little bit, and now it's kind of a dull thud. So let's give that a shot. It just sounds duller, right? It doesn't like the CLD dials are. They're not sound insulation. They're just meant to dampen these vibrations, and it seems like it's working pretty well. So eventually, I'll take my car out on the road and comment how good of a job they do. So yeah, the couple last things to do in here is, well, just put the sound damping material back on top over here. Put the hatch shelf back. That's not going to take a very long time, and also fit the headrests back. Now I know what you're thinking. Okay, so I'm putting these kick-ass subwoofers into the hatch shelf. How do I make the hatch shelf itself not rickety? Well, the answer for that is very simple. Sponges! Get yourself some of these grouting sponges. They come with like in packs of 3. Just buy like 3 packs of these and just basically jam, cut them up and jam them into any nook and cranny you can find. And that's going to stop the hatch shelf from shaking, wobbling, rattling, and just generally being annoying. So yeah, sponges. So while looking over the wiring diagram for the interior lighting for this car, I noticed a little mistake that I did when it comes to how I wired the spare trunk light. I had it grounded down here where this bunch of wires is. Turns out that would have been a mistake because it wasn't going through the trunk switch up here. Because the trunk switch is what actually cuts the circuit open when the trunk is closed. So the fix for that, fortunately, was pretty simple. I just re-ran the wire along the positive side. I re-zip tied all that, and I put some electrical tape around it, and I just put it right here where the ground is. So now this little black wire here that's coming in, that's the ground for the extra trunk light. So just a quick update there before the next video, so just to show you what's going on. So inside the car, well, the headliner material is arrived. It's really, really nice, actually. It's a lot wider than I thought it was going to be, but it's a nice material. It's very, very soft. It's a fuzzy polyester. It's not suede though, but it's nice. At first I was gonna do the black strips around the top of the headliner, but I decided against that because it's gonna be a lot of trouble to sew it onto this material, and if I screw it up, it's gonna look even weirder than just having the black the black trim and add the white headliner. And you're like, well, why don't you buy a black headliner? Well, maybe I should have done that, but the old headliner was kind of a very pale silver. And it looked good, I liked that it was white, and I'm hoping that the white headliner might also reflect some of the heat inside the car, and not affect the adhesive as much. So hopefully it's gonna last longer. Anyway, if I don't like it, 20 years from now, I'll just do this again. The hatch shelf's reinstalled, including the headrests. That's all finished, so that's good. And in the trunk, all the trim is back. All the trim is reinstalled. I got the fuse for the amp reinstalled. I got the everything's wired up. The auxiliary trunk light is now wired correctly as well. So that's good. And finally, just gonna close the trunk. Don't need to get any dust in it. And finally, the headliner. So I peeled the material off and also removed the metal tabs that go around the lights. If I could find them. I think there they are. So yeah, the metal tabs, it's really obvious how to remove them. They have these, on the back side, they have these tabs. And you just, yeah, come on, focus, silly camera. Anyway, yeah, they have these metal tabs. You just lift them up and then you can remove the metal thing. It's not a huge deal to do that. So now, a failure analysis of the headliner. Actually, the interesting thing is, it's not the adhesive that failed. It is the foam backing, because, well, I'll lower the brightness here. Okay, that's going to be better to see. So what's basically going on is, this is the layer of foam that used to be laminated to the material, and this is the actual fiber, like the fiber board material that it's under. So clearly the adhesive hasn't failed, but what has failed is the foam. So anyway, it lasted 20 years, so it's pretty good. Gonna do this. So basically, yeah, you just have to scrape it off with a little scraper, and once you've done that, then you can glue the new material on, and yeah, you know, the headliner's gonna be done. It's pretty awesome.